Grubb, and I'm your host for Fix It in 5, Lynette Louise.
She flies to Africa or takes up some bugs. She's helping brains while giving kids hugs.
So what do you think? All right. You have to be a great actor right now? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's watch this one.
Hi Lynette, my name is Jodi Moore and I'm from Alameda, California. And I'm here asking for your help with my son, who's 13. His name is Xavier. He becomes very aggressive and violent. And over the last few years, I've had my nose broken, teeth chipped. He right now has a chipped tooth. And at this point, I've just become completely suicidal. I feel that if I can't help my son, there isn't really anybody else who would want to, because he's so much bigger than us. And that I fear that in time, he's gonna hurt someone really bad and end up somewhere where I have no control over the situation.
If I get a broken nose, will you take care of me?
Yes.
Okay.
My biggest fantasy for my son is that his brain will heal and that he will lead a normal life and have a beautiful, happy life.
So, I don't know, Dar. I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if bringing cameras in is gonna make it so that we can make a difference in 5 days, but let's give it a try. Lights, camera, action.
Okay, so here we are. It's episode 3. It's gone amazing. So let's recap. Episode 1, we met Xavier, was a little bit nervous, got to meet Jodi, got to meet Gina. Everything went really well, with the exception of the fact that maybe I got my hair pulled a little. It got something thrown at me and the wall was punched in. But actually, those things were what made it possible for me to do the teaching and the changing that had to happen. Now, we showed you part of that unfolding in episode 2, but the truth of how it unfolded is day 1 had all that. By day 2, there was nothing but smooth sailing. Xavier and I played, we went on the beach, went on the treadmill, we did all kinds of fun things, but what we didn't have were any outbursts. In fact, by day 2, Xavier had already changed markedly and done neurofeedback. It was awesome. So now we're on to day 3. And the only way for real success in Xavier and Jodi's life is congruence and support. So Gina's about to leave for college. There's not gonna be anyone but Jodi and Xavier. So it's very important that the other parts of her world are congruent, that behave and support the teachings that we're giving, or it's all gonna fall apart. And I'm really excited because today we're gonna meet the teacher from his school. And that gives me a chance to find out, is it possible for us to use the school system?
If you're here, you're gonna get
Yes.
like 6 cameras in this apartment right now.
Oh wow, for real? Trippy.
Yeah.
To get those kinds of supports in place and still retain a kind of congruence in how I'm teaching, in how I'm rewarding.
I'm making coffee right now, so come on in and talk to me for a minute and you wanna say hi to Zay?
Yeah.
Go ahead, find him, say hi.
Xavier, where are you?
I wouldn't say it like that.
This is an ABA school.
They gave me the day off the schedule.
Oh.
So.
And in ABA, they value compliance, and they get that compliance by taking away control. And in my teaching, I value giving control, and I get compliance by giving control. These are polar opposites. So it's going to be somewhat challenging to see if I can reshape her already existing teaching.
Almost gonna guarantee he does this, like he'll go, Brittany, and then he'll go back to something else. So what Lynette taught me, one of the biggest things that I've been learning is that to always talk to Xavier as if he understands everything.
In ABA, they believe that he can't understand all the nuances in a conversation, so they limit what they tell him. They say don't or do. And I say, well, if you do that, this will happen. Maybe you'd rather do this.
And so she's teaching me how to explain in a logical way. At the same time, I'm talking to him and responding. It's like, so it's very natural, but also very logical.
So I give all the information. It's a very different approach. We'll see if we can get the teachers to behave in a way that will match what Jodi is now going to be doing, because this is day 3 and it's already working.
Licking, please.
Kids like Xavier are confused about what it is that they do that causes us to behave in the way that we do. And most of their confusion was taught by us. This is a great example of being too quiet.
Licking, please.
There's no knowledge of why licking's an issue. All Brittany's doing is saying, don't lick.
Do you like to be licked? Look, should I lick you?
No.
Is it gross?
No.
Yes, it is. It's so gross.
So she's playful. She's fun and she's playful. She slaps hands with him. She obviously likes him, but he doesn't know why. If you don't know why someone likes you and is playful with you, you keep trying your tricks because you think that's the reason. Xavier thinks licking her is the game they play together.
Oh, hey, Zay.
That's
So,
Lynette.
yeah, let's go see.
Someone at the door. Hi. Hey, where are you going?
Where are you going?
The more people there are, the more challenging it is to get the focus. So here we are. I'm at the door. Teacher's in the room with Xavier. Mom's going back and forth trying to translate. It's a little bit messy. I can wait.
She'll wait.
Oh, except for one. Don't translate. It's okay. Except for one thing, buddy. I have to pee really bad. The most important thing when you're working with so many people is get the focus. That's what I'm trying to do. By staying put at the door, I'm going to teach to the lesson that just showed up. And what's shown up is Xavier hasn't invited me in correctly. He hasn't embraced my presence big enough yet. Should I count? Hey, buddy, should I count?
All right.
Now, in many therapies, what you would do is you would bring him over, force him to be polite, say this, say that, and then you would go talk about it in another environment. But the opportunity's right now. So for me, the lesson is in the moment. Wow, I sure hope I don't pee my pants. I have to go pretty bad.
Listen.
No, Jodi, don't translate for me, okay, please?
Okay.
Let me play this out. Hey, buddy. Should I shut the door and knock again?
Yes.
Oh, what a great idea. Okay.
By the way, I'm knocking. You have to answer the door so I can come in and go pee because I have to go really bad, okay? Are you ready? Okay, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna knock. You come and get the door. Ready? Okay, all right. Hey, it's so good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for getting the door. Let's come to your room. And then I am going to talk to Mom just like yesterday, okay? Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Brittany.
All right, remember how it goes. Oh, I saw that cute look. I saw that cute look. So remember what's going to happen?
First, I'm going to hang out with Mom and find out how last night went. I'm going to meet your teacher. Well, I think it's ew too. What'd you do it for if you don't like it, silly?
Anyway, I'm excited. This is going to be great.
So usually we do this thing with autism where they shoot out a word, mama, what? Mama, what? Mama, what? And so it stays here. So we're adding the social piece in by saying this is logically what you're creating in your world with your language, using it the way it is.
What's blowing my mind is how much more Xavier actually understands than I've been ever giving him credit or feeling like he can. And Lynette is teaching me how to talk to him like he understands, but then adding the additional explanations of things. So like when we went to the bagel shop this morning and we were waiting in line and he was jumping up and down, I looked at him and I whispered in his ear and I said, you know, I know jumping up and down is really fun to do, but you kind of look autistic when you do it. And I think it's kind of silly looking, so let's just jump it home.
That's a good start where you are, but always think, what's the life lesson? Where am I taking it? Or you get stuck, right? You don't want to get stuck there because after a while, you know what'll happen? He'll jump bigger. He'll work at first, and then he'll go, well, I am autistic, watch this, right? And then it'll be really big, and you'll go, what happened? It was working. It's because you have to keep moving, adding and adding and shaping towards your end goal. Because I want to teach you how to continually raise the bar and move forward, or you will just get stuck somewhere else. Okay? So here we are. We're in the restaurant. He jumps. Step one. Jumping, autistic. Is that good or bad? It's neither.
Neutral.
It's neutral. It's just is what it is. So now we want to say, hey, do you see anyone else here jumping? Yeah, see, we behave differently in the restaurant. And so when you want to make friends, you want to make it so that you can kind of calm your body and look in eyes. That's how we make friends in restaurants. You see how you're taking the information and you say, maybe we could do that. Let's go sit down really calmly. I'm going to pretend it's the restaurant. Let's go sit down really calmly in the restaurant and you and I will order. We'll look in the eyes of the waiter. I bet you they'll like it. You see how you take it and then you add it to something. So you're just informing him. There's no good, there's no bad. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
You're
there's
just learning about yourself.
You're learning about yourself and how to
get control over
how to shape yourself to make a friend, because that's what you do when you make a friend. You shape yourself.
Cute. She's so cute.
That's a universal rule of social skills 101. You shape yourself to make a friend, you respect their needs. And so this is the piece we're going to put in with that information. And while other programs try to do that, we're doing it based on everything he's doing in his natural environment and showing him the effect he's having.
In a lot of ways, it's really just saying, I believe in you and that I know that you can do this, and then letting them try. And by using some tactics like these strategies, you know, one of the differences is that in school, you know, there's a schedule and there's a rigidity to things.
What you're trying to do is teach before she sees, and we'll let her see. I want to teach you first, okay? Because until you see and have questions from watching it unfold, it's just talking in the air and it all sounds the same, right? And I don't want you to feel like attacked or like something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you are at the door. Here he is on the bed. Here I am at the door. Why are you thinking that I didn't want you to translate?
I don't know.
Let's figure it out. So I want you to be intentional about what you're getting. So let's see what happens. If I'm out here and he can't see me and you're here, I say something and then you say it and then he says it and then you say it.
Who's talking to who here? Hey, where are you going?
Where are you going? Oh, I'm going in the room.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm waiting at the door.
Okay, well, you know what?
It's okay, here with me.
Lynette's waiting at the door, okay? So whenever you're ready to come say hi, she's here.
I can wait.
She'll wait.
Get over here and say hello. I can't see you.
Lynette is here.
I can't see you.
She needs to see your beautiful face.
Basically, you're keeping his attention to you and the communication between him and you. And I'm then volleying the communication between me and you.
Okay.
So you become the island in between that passes it, and he never has to socially connect with me that way. And this is a common issue with autism. You'll see it all the time, where there'll be a family member or a particular teacher or a particular worker that the kid's very bonded to, and they interject. They stand in the middle between the two people playing out the action, and all of the communication is done like this. And so it never bridges over. So you don't want to be the translator because you will make him dependent. If you're there, he'll just wait for you to re-say it in a language he's used to hearing.
Every time it beeps, you get a little bit better at getting what you want.
So this is like a new beginning for us. I can be kind of excited, all the things he's gonna learn.
Yeah.
I kept telling Xavier how we were gonna take a video of him pretending he was Steve, and we were gonna do this and that, and he was like, yeah. And just knowing that I can connect with him deeper like this makes me really excited. You know, we were we were just in that hamster wheel, you know, without being able to let any new information come in. And
Well, if you're afraid he'll have a tantrum and hit people and throw stuff, I can see why. So I have a question about school. Does he do that at school? How is it handled?
When he initially came into school, he would hit staff, and since I would probably say about 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, we really started encouraging him to use his words. We're like, tell me what you want, you know, what do you need? How are you feeling? I'm sad. Well, tell me why you're sad. What makes you upset? And then he'll tell us.
I love that she's asking him about his feelings because it indicates that she cares. Unfortunately, though, when you put the focus on feelings, you create them. So he might just be having sensory overload or a desire for resistance. It's important not to go, why are you so sad? Because then they go, oh, I'm sad. And their brain says, oh, you're sad, and gives them low frequency waves of sadness. So let's not teach people to be sad.
Because Xavier never, if I say to him, why are you sad, he doesn't usually tell me just like why he's sad. So I'm surprised he does that at school, actually. For the very first time, I feel like in Xavier's life, like he's starting to express himself to me in these last 2 days, which is completely new, and it's like everything I've ever wished for. The best way to get into his world is to get in on his thing. So we've been using, and you know I'm really into that, but I had no idea how evolved it can get.
How much fun his thing can be! Well, I thought we could play a little bit of dress up and maybe even start prepping the idea of the closet. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sit up! Here's your hat. Okay, ready for makeup? You ready for movie makeup? Okay. Here we go.
Move the white blanket. Can I go move the white blanket?
Why?
Because there's makeup in the bed.
In the bed?
Yeah, she's gotta put makeup on her.
I don't think. Part of it is the freedom of not needing to worry about being clean.
Yeah, I was there.
And so we'll just buy a new comforter if we need one. Honestly, G, don't worry about it. Try to suspend all that.
Oh, by the way, don't touch your penis when you're with your friends. You know why? Because it makes the people uncomfortable, even if it's under a blanket. Okay.
Don't believe what embarrasses you is the same as what would embarrass somebody who's trying to understand communication and action. So when I'm so specific that I actually use words like touch and penis together and explain how he should behave, it's because I'm that clear that he's comfortable. I talked about it, didn't use the term masturbate, and he was comfortable.
Should I put the makeup away? No. No, oh, okay, it's a guessing game. Should I do rosy cheeks?
She's a lot of times just always talking about that's what friends do.
Friends do things together. That's what makes a friend.
Being friends is not the goal of most teachers, but it should be.
If you lick my hand, I'm licking your hand. Oh, here I come to lick your hand. Oh. Well, don't lick my hand then.
Social skills. Friendship. One and the same.
Hey, you know what? I could just get under the blanket with you and we could have a quiet minute. Yep, definitely boring. Okay, let's do, go back under your blanket. Remember when you don't answer? Careful, honey, that light's there and Hollywood won't be able to see how handsome you are. Hey! Hollywood can't see how handsome you are under the blanket either. You better get out from under the blanket. How are they going to see how handsome you are? Hi, Hollywood! This is my handsome friend. We're going to play a game.
The way to continually play with someone like Xavier is to assume he's playing with you. So I assume he's playing with me. If he hides his head under the blanket, then I assume it's part of the game, maybe hide and seek, something like that. Assume he's playing, and then he doesn't get the message that he's not playing. Before you know it, we're playing.
Am I hiding from you? Ow! I have a great idea. Oh, you are so handsome. Dear Hollywood, I would like you to meet my new friend. His name is Xavier, and he likes to lick. Let's show them. Come on. Okay, lick my hand. Lick my hand. Come on, for the movie. Oh, yuck! Hollywood, what am I going to do about my licking friend? Come on, we're making a movie. Gotta look. All right, tell Hollywood what I should do. Should I lick your hand?
Lick your hand?
Ooh, he wants me to lick his hand. Oh no, we're gonna have the licking movie. Hey.
Wow.
Huh. You know what, I'm not actually sure if you're playing with me. Yeah, that's kind of confusing. Wait a minute. I've been making up this game. And you're hiding under a blanket. Maybe you don't want to play with me. Hey, do you want to play with me? Yes or no?
No?
Oh. Okay, I'm going to go to the other bed then, and I'm just going to sit there.
I also want to teach that his reaction to me is indicating whether or not he wants to play with me. So after a while, I drop my energy and pull myself away based on something he did. So now I'm going to assume that he is telling me, I don't want to play with you right now. And I'm going to teach to that.
Because if you're playing with friends, you always want to show them your eyes and talk with them and laugh. Laughing is great when you're with a friend.
Social skills are taught. Friendship is a social skill.
Oh, by the way, remember, even if I'm being quiet and we're not playing together, please don't hump your penis on the bed.
If you're going to talk to Xavier about hitting or masturbating or just about any activity that you feel he's doing inappropriately, the first place to go is to yourself. Be comfortable so that you can share non-judgmentally.
Because when you're with your friends, it makes them uncomfortable. It's not a good way to play. Yeah, that's a private thing. I meant to tell you, when you're ready, we're going to make a spot for you in the closet so you can have privacy whenever you want. Oh, look, you took your shirt off. Yeah, you need to have privacy for that. Did you know that? Yeah, you totally need privacy. Good job. Let's check the closet. Come here. I have this great idea. We can even get the mattress. Let's get this mattress. Help me. Or maybe just the quilt. You want the blanket or the mattress? Blanket. Well, come back here. You want to go to Mom's room? Yeah. Then please use your words, okay, and explain it to me.
We want to congratulate Xavier for that and notice that when he has an opportunity to be private, he'll be private. So he needs a private place. This is something we have to solve, maybe a man cave or something.
Wow.
All right.
Zay's past gas. We can smell it in the other room.
Families just make fun of and laugh at and enjoy the gas, and they don't see the connection. And yet when a child is a baby, they do. Little boys often get an erection when they're having a poop.
How many minutes? 4 or 5? 5. You got it.
Xavier passing gas says to me that when he has gas in his bowels or poo in his bowels, he probably feels excited. And that's something for us to be aware of.
We may never see Zay again.
This whole issue of masturbating equals man cave. He really needs one.
They're probably over there. Hi, buddy.
Oh.
You gonna like me?
Or maybe better, I don't know. Bigger.
Oh, good underwear. All right, but wear your shorts, okay? I'm gonna show you why. Come on, let's go.
Xavier is all kind of soft. He's just had private time. He's got afterglow going, and he wants to go to someone he loves that he can snuggle up to. So he loves Brittany, but he's doing it in a way that's a bit too affectionate. So if saying no about licking and close spaces worked, he wouldn't have done that. So here's the irony. I don't say no. I give information. And actually, Xavier would not do that to me. It's an important point.
What about a t-shirt?
You know, Jodi seems to want his clothes on more today, day 3, than she did in the other days. And so I'm wondering if she's having that little bit of tension we have when we know we're being observed by a teacher, for example. I mean, poor Jodi, she's got cameramen everywhere. She's got the possibility of an audience, you, later. She's got me. Now she's got the teacher, too. She probably would like Xavier to behave and dress differently.
Just looks better, right?
It looks better if she's wearing shorts.
And a shirt, no? Doesn't matter.
But a good opportunist takes advantage of every opportunity. And his desire to wear just his shorts is a part of his opportunity. Gives me a chance to give him control and then teach.
I think it's part of the stuff we want to teach to, sensory-wise.
Okay.
And so if it's going on, it's easier to teach to it.
All right.
When someone has a brain issue, I like it if they do the thing that creates that issue so that I can see it in the EEG and help it with the neurofeedback.
You see, that's Blue's Clues. Do you want to do that first? Because if you're doing that, then we're going to do this.
Yes.
So you're going to let me put this on your head now?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good deal.
Well, in Xavier's case, he has an arousal issue when he's on technology. Neurofeedback is about interrupting the loop that you're stuck in. So we want him to get in his loop so I can interrupt what he's stuck in.
There we go. Thank you for letting me clean it today. You're moving along. I love being trusted.
You're welcome.
Aw, you're so sweet. That was the same one you had on yesterday. Do you like to watch the same thing over and over again?
Yes.
Yeah? Does it make you feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it sometimes too. Remember to keep the sound down. Here comes your fancy dancy brain computer. Oh, should we turn it up?
No.
Well, we have to put it on if you want to do it. Okay, ready?
Here.
Come close to me though. Or it won't fit. Oh, you want to do it? Okay, let me move it around a bit. It's kind of stuck. Thanks. Are you gonna watch just Blue's Clues or Frosty today too?
Blue's Clues.
Okay. All right. Can I do it, please? Because I'm better at it.
You will help?
Yeah, I would like to help.
Will you help?
I would love to help. And then I'll just put it on your head and you can watch Blue's Clues. Thank you. Fantastic. Well done. And then we're going to put one here because this is so great.
No. No.
Well, I'm done now.
Okay.
Good job.
Oh, watch that mirror.
You better be careful because that could fall and hurt you. And then Hollywood won't see.
He's actually given up control to me. And so his reaching over and pinching me, especially since he actually didn't pinch me, he pinched my clothes. That really wasn't worth drawing attention to in that moment because I'm prioritizing getting the neurofeedback and teaching him about the natural consequence of hitting the mirror. Can only teach so much.
Lynette is teaching me, rather than taking all the technology out of the house, to teach Xavier how to have control over it and over himself.
What do you mean you can't find it? Give me that. That's. You all done?
Well, we're going to do a little bit more. You can watch more Blue's Clues. Did you want me to sing the brain song?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes I ask a question just so people like Xavier have a chance to say no to me. It's really important to reinforce that he has some power.
Because if he has some power, he'll feel comfortable and free and notice when he's rude. And that's when he's saying to me. Now what do we do?
Blue's Clues, Blue's Clues, Blue's Clues. You gotta find another pop.
Wow, that's beautiful singing.
Music. Think. Cause when we use our minds, take a step at a time, we can do anything. Boom! That one, two.
All right.
Did you see where Blue went?
I did.
That way.
Blue went that. Oh, now that way. Thank you for asking me.
No,
He's so
that way.
fast.
Oh, the blanket.
Is there a clue on the blanket? That's awesome. Thank you. That was so sweet.
I want to draw his attention to what he's doing right. So me honoring that he touched me gentle is very important. Now, a lot of people don't want to bring up the subject of you touched me gentle.
That was very sweet. I love that you were so gentle.
They're afraid that'll bring the pinch back. He just has to know that we like the gentle. And sometimes you risk a pinch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are
Done.
Yay! Good work! Yay!
Good job.
Good job!
Thank you.
Thank you for your help. Is right.
One of the things I love about the fact that Xavier's looking at himself on video is it means he can get sort of a sense of himself, of what he looks like when he's cooperative, of what it looks like when he's successful.
This was your very first time doing it.
Watching himself on video, great for helping him to get a theory of mind.
Oh, it's stuck. Oh.
It also means I can start planting the idea not just of Hollywood and being on screen, but teach him maybe to edit things. He's fantastic with technology. He could be a great editor.
Watch it, watch it, watch it. Look how happy you are. Oh, hey, I'm glad you're wearing shorts today, because look, in underwear.
Also, seeing himself in his underwear and pointing that out helps him think like a director. Does the director of Hollywood want to see the boy in his underwear or in his clothes?
It might not work for Hollywood.
A great thing to put together would be Steve on Blue's Clues wears clothes. Also, I want him to see us as friends. I want him to be able to watch what a friend looks like. So here he is looking at us playing together and getting the visual of, oh, friends play together.
Okay, let's see the other one. Wait, I want to see Ken. Come on, double click on this. We're going to watch the other one.
But the first step to that is getting him to do what I'm asking. Push the buttons I want him to push and work in cooperation with someone, so one step at a time.
Please, 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 please. Oh, please, please. Can we watch the other one where we do our hair? Please.
No.
Oh, all right.
However, it's really important that when I see that he's not going with me on that, even though the lesson I want to teach is, look how great you are as a friend, if he's not going with me, I have to remember I'm modeling friendship in the moment. And don't push it. Be a good friend who listens.
You did what I wanted, so I'll do what you want. That's what friends do.
Jody learned, respond to his words. And he learned that I'm a little puppet and I'd do what he said. And that way, he could order me around and then I could get his trust.
Do you like my cheeks?
Xavier loves those cheeks, actually. He's really into marching toy. So when he was little, he used to have me put those red circles on his cheeks all the time.
Look. I'm actually using rosy cheeks to make it fun and to get his attention, so I can teach more. The cheeks are a tool for connection.
A clue! Lynette was hugging you!
I'm not simply amusing the special needs boy. We're gonna go on stage like Blue's Clues, right? Hey, should we get you a Steve shirt? That's a great idea. We should get you a shirt just like Steve.
He wants to be just...
He wants to be Steve when he grows up, he said.
I'll be Blue, and you be Steve. We all know he wants to be Steve. Okay, are we ready? However, the important thing is to use that love to help him learn, not simply to find him cute.
Okay.
Hit the red button. Friendship happens when you love his thing.
Blue? Yeah, I saw it, Blue. Look, watch what I'm gonna do. I see the clue. Look. Okay. You want to do more or stop?
Stop.
All right. Good job. Yay. Fantastic. You did it again. We're going to have a great movie.
You are welcome for all your help.
Look at you. Mwah. Look how good you are.
You're fantastic.
fantastic. You're the nicest friend ever. Look at you doing what I want you to do because you want to be nice to me. That's what friends do. We take turns. I watch Blue's Clues, and you do this. My computer. That's so great. Good job. It is good to wear shorts, though, instead of underwear, because, see, I think Hollywood will like you better in underwear. Oh, sure. Thanks for asking. 2, 1, you're done. And you want to do more or stop?
Stop.
All right. Good job. Look at you. Look how good you are. I love the way you say it. Great movie. You are welcome for all your help.
No.
All done?
Right.
All right, you want to go eat?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for all your help. Good job. Give me a high five. Nice. Good. Did you get the when he banged his head? Do you want to show?
Today, my job is to figure out, can Mom, Jodi, get the message across to the teachers, in this case, Brittany? Can she share and be heard?
I see some of the aides as just kind of taking Zay from one thing to the next thing, and there's very little conversation. Everything is really just going from one thing to the next, but there's not a lot of pausing to infuse enriching language and communication into those spaces where there's opportunity.
It's like that for all the kids because a lot, especially Xavier, are very routine sensitive. So when things are out of the norm, for a lot of our kids, it causes a behavior, which is easier for them just to see this is what we're doing today, great, because if things are left up in the air and that uncertainty makes a lot of our kids very anxious.
Now, this is done with routines all the time. People say he needs his routine, he needs his routine. When you break from his routine, he gets anxious, he has a meltdown. Of course. He's not being grown and matured and made sophisticated by stretching the envelope. You're shrinking it to try to get rid of the anxiety.
There's a very big difference between you come in, this is your schedule, and we decided what you should do today, and oh, these are the things that we decided, and here's a couple things you get to decide. Where it becomes a sort of a community event, creating a schedule, because that's respectful, and that also models normalcy in a sense. I mean, most of us wouldn't put up with someone else telling us what to do all the time.
If you bring the walls closer and make a tighter routine, you don't make more comfort, you make a smaller world, and you still have anxiety on the edges. And so you bring it in, trying to avoid the anxiety, and you'll still have anxiety on the edges and an even smaller world.
Often we think we're being respectful, and I guess I want to break that apart a little bit and figure out, really, are we? If a person goes to school and everything's already decided, and it's really about believing that he couldn't cope or behave well if things were changed, then we're actually reinforcing his autism. We're reinforcing his need for ritual. We're reinforcing the belief that he can't be flexible, and we're dancing to the tune of autism instead of stretching him outside of it. So that's why I think it's important that he have some say in his day.
When he creates a schedule with you every morning and you go, here are the choices and the things we can do, which ones do you want to do, then he has buy-in. He's decided, and he wants to prove to you that his choice matters.
It may be on his schedule, but if he doesn't want to go or he prefer to do something else, he has to first say what he would like to do, and then it's okay, you don't have to go.
This is on your schedule, but you have the right to refuse it. That's very different than, okay, let's make our schedule today. What do you want on your schedule today?
Control equals cooperation.
But if it's always, this is the way it is until you say no, then we actually reinforce no. what do you want to create for your day, you reinforce communication.
I feel like Xavier has regressed since he's been in school. I feel like when he comes home, he's not using as much language as he was when I started sending him to school. So we definitely have a different opinion about what we're observing. When I was observing that day, I didn't see it at all. I didn't see anyone infuse the language that I'm talking about. Talk to Xavier like he understands and use language in a way that's basically their modeling as a friend. And then hopefully Xavier can have an environment at home and at school where he's just starting, to be infused with what it is to be a friend, and then the social communication is the priority over him doing his schedule.
I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the day that you observed, it was a day, like a party day for the whole school, so you're not going to see a typical day from us or our staff, because it's chaotic the whole day until parents come, and then when parents come, everyone backs off. So you don't get a true sense of what the school actually is capable of doing or what we do on a daily basis. But I understand your frustration when it comes to that, especially if that was a typical day. I would totally be irritated as well.
Here's something you can say to people that sometimes makes it a lot easier to initiate this kind of shifting, is I say process out loud. You don't have to teach every little nuance to someone then. You just say, guys, process out loud. He doesn't know why. You just made a decision for him. Process out loud. Well, the reason I made the decision is because you didn't give me the answer. And when you don't give me the answer, I pick my answer, the one I like. It's one of my favorite lines. I use it all the time, and the kids immediately start answering because they're like, oh, she does. She picks what she likes, right? Process out loud teaches why we act how we do, what they did that caused it, and how they can adjust it. And then you'll notice when a person's afraid to process. Like, for example, oh, every time I bring up masturbation, it makes them have a temper tantrum, so now I don't bring up masturbation. I'm afraid to say that because last time you threw something and I don't like it when I get hit in the head. So I'm not talking about it now, but if you can keep your body calm, I'd love to tell you. That's processing out loud. And it makes the most enormous difference in an environment. Do you want to do, we made a new movie of you. Do you want to see that today? Do you want me to lick your hand too? Oh, well, let's be fair then, because we're friends. And if you don't, I'm going to lick your hand if you lick mine. No. Yes, I am. And when he licks?
We try to refrain him from licking, or we say
pause.
no tongue.
But what's the point to no licks?
I just tell him it's gross.
Okay, where does that take him though?
No, he just says yes and
right.
stops.
So that's that extra step we want to go to, right? So why is it gross?
No one likes to be licked. Bacteria.
There's
germs.
a good reason. What happens from germs?
Get sick.
Oh, science class. Because it's hard for someone like him to sit down and have science class, you're going to have to do it like folded into everything. Since I'm doing playtime right now, I see this as friendship skill time.
Yeah, I like the friend thing because he wants friends. He's constantly, I want friends, I want a party, I want party with friends. You know, he made me do Thanksgiving twice because the first one didn't have friends, and, you know, it was just me and Gina, and that wasn't good enough. He was like, where's all the people that I see on the movies? You know, at Thanksgiving, it's like a celebration. Didn't look anything like that. So we had to have the whole world set up for a party to have a second Thanksgiving. And this, to me, is something that would be great at school, you know, anywhere. It's just what I want to focus on with Zay.
Friendship skills, help me know what a friend is. So if you lick me, then if we're friends, then that would mean I lick you. Wait a minute, you said it's gross. So if you think it's gross, then why are you doing it to me? I thought we were friends.
Oh, I love the way you answer, so I know how to play. So that's something I try to do a lot. I love the way you answer, so I know how to play. I love the way, it's sort of like a more sophisticated version of I love the way you look in my eyes. If we're building friendship skills, how's he gonna know when he hit it right? But compliments can roll off the tongue pretty easy. So, oh, I love when you answer. That's so awesome. I know the game now. Or, oh, I know what you want. It's great when I know what you want. That's what friends do. They tell each other stuff. So some pretty basic friendship skills, and you repeat it in action over and over. Just before that, like he actually, even with Under the Blanket, kept responding, which was interesting.
This is when I would get bored and walk away.
Really? Why?
Well, because I'm bored already of the whole playing the way Xavier does. I think that I've just kind of gotten to the point where I'll look for a little window, and then after 2 or 3 minutes, if he just won't respond, I probably would then walk away and do some task or...
Okay, so what would you say when you walk away?
Probably nothing.
Okay, so what would you change now?
I probably wouldn't give up so easily.
And then you can also say, well, you're ignoring me. I thought I was here to play. But you're not even answering questions from under the blanket, so I guess you want to play today, and leave. And you're hiding under a blanket. Maybe you don't want to play with me. Hey, do you want to play with me? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go to the other bed then, and I'm just going to sit there. Because then what happened?
He at least has he knows you're teaching him what his behavior means to me.
And what it causes.
Right, an effect.
Because if you're playing with friends, you always want to, show them your eyes and talk with them. Now, let's see if we can move the bar. Honest to God, I move the bar every day, usually every half day. Oh, by the way, remember, even if I'm being quiet and we're not playing together, please don't hump your penis on the bed, because when you're with your friends, it makes them uncomfortable. It's not a good way to play. Yeah, that's a private thing. The biggest mistake I see, and why people get stuck, and why people think that autistic folks need a routine, is because nobody's moving the bar fast enough.
When you raise the bar and ask for something, you encourage frontal lobe development. And autistic children are known to have a problem with frontal lobe development.
Friends do things together. That's what makes a friend. Hey, you know what? I could just get under the blanket with you and we could have a quiet minute. Okay? All right. Do you know why I chose that instead? Why I gave up? Look at the expression on his face.
It's
Agitated.
It's very different. It's not agitated, but it's on its way. It's shifting. And you know how you can feel an energy shift in someone? Right?
And look at you, you're just looking right at it.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I see that you're shifting, your energy's coming down. Before he was playful. Even though he was under the blanket, he kept peeking, his eyes had a little glimmer in them. You're like, oh, this is kind of fun, I'm playing my blanket game. She's silly. But now, and it's just on the heels of, first I do this, then I mention his penis, then I say, no, if you lick me, I'm licking you. Now I'm starting to seem like that bossy friend. It's the same in any relationship where you go, yeah, I've asked enough right now. And that's all I was doing. I went, oh, I've asked enough. I've got to the envelope. I've got to the edge of his ability. Now I'm going to back up and I'm going to do more kind of what he's doing. But I ain't stopping the play. But the assumption is still we're playing together. He hasn't told me he needs space. He hasn't told me move. He hasn't pushed me. He hasn't pinched me. None of the stuff that means enough. You are under the blanket. Processing out loud. What do you want me to do? Give him the choice. Get under a blanket or put makeup on or a scar on you. You didn't tell me what to do. Don't give up on the question. Remember when you don't answer? Careful, honey, that light's there and Hollywood won't be able to see how handsome you are. I love this. He's so respectful of the equipment. You better get out from under the blanket. How are they going to see how handsome you are? Show Steve your face. Come on, let's show. Hi, Hollywood. That kind of gets him. So, we're going to make a movie. So what happened? So we're playing. I'm going after the answer. he accidentally kicks the light, and then he stopped. Now, if he'd have kicked again, I'd have gone a different direction, right? I get different information then. But when he kicks it, and I point out that that's our light, and it's, you know, it's for the movie, and he pulls himself back and is respectful, then I know, oh, there's an interest here. So I've set the question over here in my head, and I'm following this to see if I can get him again. So, what am I going after? In an overarching way, what's our goal?
Right, to...
Period, in the play, in the way that I'm approaching all the play.
To make friends.
Friendship skills.
Friendship skills.
That's the overarching goal, is friendship skills. So when you find yourself going to leave, process out loud. Well, I'm leaving now and I have no idea why. Just a minute. Let me think, because Lynette said if I say it out loud, I'll know. No?
We're looking for clues to figure out why.
Oh my God, well, how perfect for him. I mean, how perfect. Clues to friendship. You know, it's a clue. Let's see, right? Process out loud, just process out loud. Teach yourself that way, and he will just happen to learn at the same time. And then we're gonna put one here, because this is so great.
No.
Well, I'm done now. All right, good job. You better be careful, because that could fall and hurt you. And then Hollywood won't see. Look. There we go. Okay. All right, now it's going to give me a pinch there. But it wasn't real bad, but it's pinchy.
It does hurt.
No, he doesn't. He's not hurting me, but he's pinching. He's making his point. Okay, so pause it there, Steve, please. Now, what all just happened? Why
Hit the mirror.
Hit the mirror? Why did he stop hitting the mirror? Why did he pinch me? Why did he smile at the mirror? Let's make it up. We could be wrong, but let's make up a story so we understand him better.
I guess from what I see is that he was...
He seems pleased with himself. Like, did you see what I just did?
Yes. What I find with these kind of guys, and he seems to be no exception, is it's like turning on the light switch. When the exuberant thing happens, when the fall happens down the stairs or the banana peel slip, and the kids will rewind that and watch that over and over again. And I think that sometimes what's happened is they've built a world, their whole world, out of these clips, because that was enough stimulation to force the focus in their brain so that they didn't have this confusion in their brain of difficulty holding a thought, seeing what was going on. It helps focus. Think of it like a dark, dark room. And every time something big happens, the light switch goes on. And then it goes off again. And then it goes on. And then it goes off again. So every really big thing, like when mom yells, or when you cry, or when the movie crashes, all of those things are when the light switch is on. And you take all those snapshots and you put them together, and that's the world he lives in. And that's why I'm exuberant. Because what we need to do is put the light switch on for the other things. Instead of for the things that stick out like that. And that's what that moment tells us about him. So in a psychological sense, the picture of the world that he'll build is that man who punches a hole in the wall, or, in the movie that would be that guy. I have this theory that in truth, when people say for autism that, they need routine, or they don't like people, or a lot of this stuff, I think it's just all about judgment, actually. It's about having someone not be able to see the person underneath the autism or within the autism, and then judging it as good or bad, what they do. And so the kids start to pull in and get more and more into their stuff. But we'll see. Let's see who's right.
And I just want to say, you know, at Xavier's school, the kids are severely impaired. He's like the highest functioning kid there.
Having Xavier in a school where everybody's lower functioning than him and he's stuck to his schedule and his only control is to say no, and the teachers don't see him as someone who can learn to be a man that edits and has freedom in the world, those are the limitations of Xavier's life.
In my opinion, if you're gonna really be talking to the kids, like interacting and communicating, you're gonna do it or you're not. Mm-hmm. And I didn't see it, and that was really troubling to me, that I ended up making a phone call to Brittany and saying, you know, I'm concerned about this. I'm concerned about the camaraderie. You know, it feels like, you know, they have the kids doing, like, facing a wall, doing their work, and the aide is texting someone. Mm-hmm. You know, that's not where I'm envisioning Xavier at. What goes on all day long, if it's not one child, another is in that little room, fucking like really, you know, ripping their hair out, bashing their head, concussions, the whole thing. And for me, when I was sitting in the massage room, what I just energetically kept feeling is like, you know, these people don't have any space to be themselves or to express themselves or to just have space. They're just constantly being led to this thing, to this thing, to this thing. Nobody ever asks if this is what they want to do.
Oh, I don't think school's gonna work. I think what's wrong is they don't have a real goal for him, not a life goal. They have a today goal or a this year goal maybe, but not a vision of Xavier as a man. That's what he needs.
We're going to build him a man cave, okay? And then when he wants to masturbate, it's clear cut. You go, hey buddy, do that in your cave, or do that in your whatever you want, whatever's a fun word for you.
Man cave is cute.
Yeah. Could someone get a shot of her dirty dishes to make her look bad?
I don't think we have to go there to make me look bad.
Oh, honey, nothing you've done makes you look bad. You look wonderful.
What comes up for me even more than that is the self-consciousness of being on camera. Let me tell you, it's big for me, you know, like.
On the way home, Steve was saying, I don't know, Lynette, I'm having trouble framing out that part of your face you don't like, and he means the wrinkles on my neck. And I'm like, close up on my eyes. Yeah, Jodi and I are girls at the end of the day. We'd like to look, you know, like Angelina Jolie or something, thin, perfect. But we're motivated. We want to help Xavier. So we're game.
Can you just cut, like, straight away all the double chin and the
They can't, I wish.
wide ass load?
But I like to look thinner, so lucky for you because I'm going to have him stretch it a bit.
Good.
I'm going to teach you a little bit about biofeedback and brain stuff here. I believe what's happening for him is that he has too much low frequency, slow moving waves, and he can't focus. His brain does anger, or he masturbates. So it's therapeutic. So here he's stuck in this place where he's got this extreme, it's almost like he's being dragged down into this low place, but he's trying to function. So he brightens himself with all this behavior. And then either a requirement in school or physical or request or whatever stops him from doing what he needs to do to help himself, right? So his brain tries to help him without engaging the body piece and does that with anger, like shoots up this excess beta. The irony is the brain's trying to balance, but it creates a feeling that's uncomfortable, and then he has to act out on that. It's a maladaptive solution. So you know how you thought it was all caused by the rewinding? It's actually caused by what's going on in his brain, and he's using the rewinding the same way
to comfort himself.
But in the same way that his brain has created a solution that is maladaptive,
I know you want to cry.
I do.
Go ahead.
It's just like I've spent so long on this, and to have an answer is like, it's just a comfort, a huge comfort. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's very awesome.
Thank you.
Mr. Wobble. Mr. Wobble.
Oh, well, Hollywood is still here. Put your shorts on, goof.
Oh,
right
cool.
Just listen to how much Jodi's done.
Pivotal response therapy or training. And even when I went to the Sunrise, I got some of it, but felt like it was just PRT in a playroom.
That's true in all the homes I go into.
This is real, you know, so I just wanted to share that.
There's a clue right here.
You choose. Should I teach Mom a little more, or should I put the computer on your head?
No?
Which one, Mom or you?
Mom?
Okay, I'll teach Mom a little more.
Come in the mail of
Always say
Scooby-Doo.
4 yeses to him before you say no.
Mama, he's come in the mail of Scooby-Doo.
Whoa, are you gonna check the mail?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Look at the mail.
Oh, no!
It's 332. It's the mailbox and it has our name Moore on it.
When you give Xavier control, he learns to be in control. And the only way to give control is to give freedom.
That one?
Steve's so awesome. He's trying not to answer Xavier because that's the instruction I gave him. However, at some point he's going to have to, because ignoring Xavier is kind of like rejection.
Xavier, what's your last name?
Xavier.
What's your last name?
More.
More? Where does it say more?
What an interesting challenge these cameramen have.
Does it say right there?
Yeah?
Okay.
All right. No, not here. That way. Let's go to McDonald's.
Xavier knows the way to his apartment, but he's having so much fun being free. Here is his moment of learning. In this moment, he takes ownership of going home. One of the side benefits of marrying, the thing he likes to do with the neurofeedback, is that it makes me part of things. And so I'm so busy talking to him and giving him control and asking questions, and he likes the control. Guess what happens? He stims less.
F9, F11, please, Mom. Hey, that's a different Steve. What's his name?
Joe.
Oh. Where did he come from? Is he Steve's friend?
Yes.
Really? I didn't even know about him. That's a heart. We should make hearts for each other.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Done! Yay! Do you want me to clean your hair for you?
No?
Okay, you're done. Good job. You are welcome for all your help.
So I wanted to ask you a question about something. You know, I've been encouraged by professionals and people that know Xavier, like at the regional center, to put Xavier into these like little overnight Halloween camps and Christmas camps and things that are, you know, 1 day, 2 days. And, you know, I've never done it, and I don't really know
If you should.
if I should. What do you think about things like that?
Huh. I wonder if there is a camp or a respite place that might support Jodi with this kind of teaching. I'm going to ask the Google gods.
How do you fix that?
A couple months back, I was just pulverized. I mean, just my whole body bruised, you know. Zay's broken my nose, chipped my tooth. His tooth is chipped right now. I'm sure he's given himself concussions. You know, the extent of the rage, you know, something is wrong inside your brain that is causing this pain, you know, and I've never been able to know what to call it, find it. I have all these bruises all over my arms. Like, it got to the point where I could cry if someone even just touched me to say hi, because it triggered so much pain.
The thing is, when you live with somebody who's erratic and might hurt you, you do become afraid. Unfortunately, when you're afraid, your fear signals the other person, their limbic system, their primitive brain, it signals it to be aggressive. So here's Jodi having to be so much the super mom because she has to not be afraid, even though she has every right to her fear.
The first day you came, he was in the living room masturbating. And one thing that happened was, like, I was nervous that the camera guys were gonna, you know, get that. And so you asked them to turn the cameras off to make me feel comfortable. And then right after that,
My favorite moment was when he puts his hand on the TV and he's gonna get, and I go, wait, don't smash the TV, you won't be able to rewind. So he stops, and he goes and he looks, he goes, the chair, yes, I can do the chair.
and he threw the chair all the way. Exactly.
So he is
Aware.
He's aware. He's aware. I've been here 3 days, from day one, and how he was and how sensitive he was to being talked to about masturbating and clothes and stuff on that day, to where he is today. Do you see a shift?
Oh yeah, a huge shift. The spontaneous language is really coming out. Him wanting to show me, you know, what is interesting to him is something I've wanted my whole life with him, and it's happened for the very first time. I mean, how can you know, not be so excited about that? I mean, that to me is something I honestly didn't know if that would ever happen, and it happened while you were here. So that is just amazing. It's a miracle. I have to be really honest, knowing why Xavier rewinds has been like a lifelong quest that I've been on since he was 2 years old. I have searched every avenue, everywhere, every place to get an answer as to why, and now we have one.
Yay! And now we have not just an answer why, but a way
to help.
All right. I think we're gonna lose that. Right. Tomorrow I am gonna teach you science. Lots of science.
Oh, good. I love science,
Plus,
actually.
When Dad's here, we'll cater to that.
He'll
okay?
be here tomorrow.
All right. So do you know what time he'll be here?
Well, you tell me, and I'll tell him when to be here.
Well, what do you think he will benefit the most by? Should he be here the whole day?
Oh yeah. I think he should be here tomorrow and Sunday. I mean,
it's all good for me. I think the more involved the people are.
Yeah, because I'm also looking for
support.
Some support.
All right. Let's see if we can.
Well, I hope Dad shows up.
I have a little autistic boy in the audience. You hear him? He's so cute. He goes, arr, arr.
Right on cue, actually.
Yeah, I love it. Right on cue. That was a beautiful sound. Thank you. I can do it too. Watch. Arr. Cool, huh? So what most people do is a variety of those things. And what I do is I go, oh, this is really awesome. This is really awesome. Oh, did you know that I don't want you to hit me because it hurts? Yes.
I had a technical problem. Is there any chance you could answer that question one more time? Ask the question.
Are you all right with me repeating myself on this?
Would you mind?
All right.
I'm sorry.
I don't know, I heard it repeat that. All right. I'll make it shorter, guys. So imagine the EKG, you know, you have your graph going and then your heartbeat and your graph and your heartbeat and your graph and your heartbeat. And let's pretend that this part is good behavior and this part is maybe hitting or taking your pants down at the wrong time or
shouting out.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So then we pay attention in most therapies to this problem, this heartbeat moment, whereas I pay attention more to that other moment and go, wow, look at all this great behavior over here. Another approach is to ignore this big moment, and that also doesn't work because it's a missed opportunity. In this moment, all the teaching happens.
You build on the foundation of good behavior that's there.
I build
and
on
you use it to comment on the little aberration.
What I do is I make myself so darn fun and so exciting that when I stop playing with you, you hate it. So then when you do this, I go, oh, actually when you, I'm gonna have to move my body back because I don't feel safe. That's too bad. I was just playing a really good game and I was singing one wonderful song about your voice, for example. Maybe we'd like to teach them a little voice song. I think it goes, all the sounds are important. I have singers. Let's do it with harmony.
1, 2, 3, and
All the sounds are important. All the sounds must be heard. If you say all the sounds in the right order, then I'll understand every word.
All the time I'm breaking into song. I don't travel with them. I'm busy carrying the brain.
Fix it in 5, please.